Well, I do believe we are live, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to get things set up here. Background. Okay. Got it. Now, I just want to apologize to my new subscriber from last night. I told him or her to remind me, and that person may not have been there or didn't or whatever. I said I would show my dogs. That person wanted to see my babies. I have them all out on their chains and their rope, getting ready for the night to settle in. So I'll start this video. Now, as you can see, after all that's done, as you know, the title reads, things are moving fast. But I'll go ahead and show off my dogs here and show you what I got. If you're not impressed, that's okay. I don't require it. I love them. They're great dogs. They're loyal. They're faithful. And they sure do eat a lot. And I have to exercise them, keep them calmed down a little bit, which I do. Took a long walk with my two biggest ones today, earlier this evening. I rotate them, weather permitting. I walk Ayla by herself, but just her and I, like I did yesterday. And then the next day I did Kakarot and Goku. And let's see. Yesterday was Ayla, today was Kakarot and Goku. But anyway, rather than ramble on, I'll go get Ayla first. Just give me a minute, be patient. All right. Come here, baby girl. Oh, you good girl. Now, this is Ayla. She's my Heinz 57. She got a lot of things in her. Now, when I weighed her 2 days ago, she was only 63.1 pounds. She's been up to 70. I'd like to say that she's, from all the exercise, she's losing weight in a healthy sort of way. Right? Yeah, you think so? Yeah, you good girl. Look at you. Okay, and she's a large breed. She's albino too. But despite that, she's in pretty good shape for that. She's had to endure some cold weather. Anyway, I'll put her in her kennel. Good girl. Good girl. So the next one I'll go bring in is my Siberian Husky Great Pyrenees mix. Be back in a few seconds here. Hey, buddy. Hey, boy. All right. Come here, buddy. Come here. Oh. He's a big boy. He's when I weighed him a couple days ago, he was 93.1 pounds. Now he's over 2.5 years old. Yeah, aren't you? Aren't you, buddy? Yeah, you looking for a cookie? You want a cookie, a treat? So, I love this dog. Yep. And go ahead, good boy. Oh, good boy. Now, I'll go get my pup Goku, and he's the biggest already. So, that being said, I better get moving here. Let me check something first here, quick. Okay. All right. Okay, I'll go get Goku. Hey, buddy. Good boy. Come here. Come here. Oh, yeah. Come here, buddy boy. Yeah. Now, this is Goku. He is a German Shepherd Great Pyrenees mix. He's 8.5 months old. He'll be a year on the 17th of September. Now, when I weighed him 2 days ago, he was 102.1 pounds. So he's not done yet. He's bigger than Kakarot.
Wait, let's just leave you out, I guess.
Anyway, okay, you go find somewhere to lay down. Anyway, those are my 3 large breeds that help keep guard of the ranch, or the homestead, I should say, really. I'm not a rancher by any stretch. I mean, there's some things that are the same. But that being said, point is, they definitely let me know when somebody's walking by, when somebody's driving by, if they see another animal. A couple different times they've been known to go nuts when coyotes are close by and that. So Goku, even though he's the biggest and he's still growing, he is coordinated and pretty good shape for being 8.5 months old. He's Kakarot being 9 pounds less. He's still the toughest one right now, but that won't last long. I mean, he's, for not being even 9 months yet, he's in pretty good shape and pretty coordinated. Ayla, being a little over 63 pounds, she's fierce. She doesn't take any crap from anybody. When I've had them in the field running around playing in the past, I need to build a new gate for that part so I can have them do it again. But that being said, folks, she won't put up with anything. Now, no, she cannot take Kakarot. I mean, when he says enough, he'll put her down to calm her down. But other than that, let me put this on. Okay, so Goku is getting toughened up quick. He's doing a good job of play wrestling. Goku is doing a great job, actually, with, giving Kakarot a good run for his money. But they're a pack. They do get along fine. And that, let me put this, I'll just leave it there. So that, I just thought since that one person asked and I didn't remember to do it, if that person isn't here, they can go back when they come, or maybe see it after it's done being live, or not watch it at all. I mean, it's up to the subbers and non-subbers. Anyway, so I have good protection, and Deb and I do, and we have good, faithful canines here, and we're happy with them. They eat a lot of food. I give them that value pack dry dog food, and not all the time, but most of it we mix in our food that we know is good and healthy for them too. Stuff that we eat as humans, and that we're very finicky and up on our stuff. And I should probably do a video on dog food and how it's being made. It's more than appalling. It's almost beyond words. Now, value pack. VALU-PAK. There's different various formulas. The one I use the most is the red bags. I did switch over to the purple. I think the best one they have, and most expensive, of course, is the black bags. But with the food that we mix in with them, it probably doesn't matter. We'll probably do a combination every month of like a red bag and a purple bag or something like that. Continue to put our stuff in with. So, in fact, now that I think about it, I promised Kakarot a cookie, so I better give them each one, and then we can start talking about things here, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's kind of late. I had to do my research. My wife, Deborah Heaton Faith, found some stuff, and I looked into it. Here you go, buddy. Good boy. Be right back. Here you go, cat. There you go. Good girl. that being said, folks, I did some research and I took down some notes. Look at this. I wrote some of this stuff down, and I wrote down, and I'll try to put up the links again like I did for last night's video. But like, for example, and I've been hearing about this. I've researched it in the past. I just haven't talked on it very much. And even though it's in other nations, it's going to come here. Okay. Coming to a theater near you. For example, Blackwoods is a channel, and I'll put up that video later, like I said, when I'm done. They talked about that guy talked about some things that are going to happen by 2027. Prime Minister Keir Starmer has said it. He's made it very simple. And I don't mind playing video clips, but you should probably too just watch the whole video. I think it's his most recent one, if I'm right. But Blackwoods, he basically, the title is "Something Crazy is Going Down Right Now," and what they're saying is that in 2027 in the United Kingdom or England or whatever, they're going to they want to inject citizens with a microchip underneath the palm of your hand, basically, and all of your identification will be in it, all of your info, and you will not have the right to work without it. Now, President Trump, the way he campaigned for 4 years and that, and then even when he was inaugurated in for a second time, how he's going to, make sure that Christians don't get persecuted, but he's getting together with a lot of people. And I'm not, well, what can you say? I mean, let me look it up here. I pretty much know where to look. Go to the first letter of John. And just to make this clear, folks, I do not think that Donald John Trump is the Sodom Mashiach, or in English, just say the Antichrist, the man, the first beast. Nor do I think he's the second. He does not qualify that way. That being said, you go to the first letter of John, chapter 2, verse 18. Little children, it is the last time, and as you have heard that Antichrist shall come, even now there are many Antichrists, whereby we know that it is the last time. Okay, he's one of them, I believe. I know my wife is typing in. She wants me to put in and discuss Daniel chapter 7, verse 23, and chime it in with Revelation chapter 13. And I don't know about tonight, but I think I'm going to have to make a series. Folks, these live streams are going to be long enough. Please stick with me, whether you're live or it's pre-recorded by the time you see it. I mean, I could do a video for 20 hours. But I have things to do. I have sleep to get. I have to go to bed sometime tonight and that. So I'll start putting some of that stuff together for you. I used to teach on this years ago. Now it's right in front of our faces. It's blatant. It's ridiculous. So anyway, I'll put the Bible over here if I need to open it again. But basically, they want to inject all their England or, Great Britain citizens with a microchip underneath the palm and that, and you can't do anything without it, but you can't work, at least. And they're going to do that in Sweden. They're going to do that in Sweden as well. Okay, by 2027, or they want to. That's up to, look, England and Sweden citizens, that's up to you how you think you need to deal with it. I will give props up to, I'm not sure what's going on in Sweden. Isn't that where Greta Thunberg is from? Go figure. But in Great Britain, they're tired. They're tired of their government doing what they're doing, bringing in illegal aliens and that. And then that guy that was killed, that was slit in his throat, and the cops cuffed him. They've had enough of that crap, and I don't blame them. And I have to admit, I think on the average, the most England citizens have a lot more testosterone and are ready. They're willing to fight for their nation than what Americans as an average are. And they have a lot longer history. We're basically their successors in a way. They're our predecessor brother Brits. I mean, they've got a history of over 2,000 years when Rome broke off from them back then and said make your own means of defense. They have a lot to fight for. And they have some weasel like Starmer in there. I mean, you have to feel bad for them, but it's their issue. They got to deal with that. But it's going to be coming here, folks. Now, when, I don't know. I think it would have been here sooner. And by now, Trump was a lot better in his first term, and he wouldn't play ball with the elites. And then, of course, they brought in that crap of that bogus of coronavirus, and that things were locked down. The whole world was practically locked down, almost all of it. And it really affected us. Now, when I look at the United States, I mean, the stuff that went on here. But, he's a little different now. Anyway, there's another thing, too, and Deb and I noticed it. And I'm going to be looking for it because we still have to do a little bit of grocery shopping yet. We're trying to become self-sustaining again. We're working hard at it, have our own gardens and stuff, which they're probably going to try to outlaw, proscribe. Well, you can make a criminal out of anyone. Well, we're doing it right now. We're legal lest I do. I'm in the process of all the gardens that we have going. Next year, I'm going to start a new one, and I'm getting it ready slowly but surely this year. Getting off this tangent now, I'm looking at this going, well, there's a little camera thing, with the price tags. It used to be just paper tags. You look at it now in the middle, you got that black thing with a camera. And it's in America. It's going on now. And they can read you and see what you can afford. They have experts, whether they're psychologists or whatever they are. And it's like, okay, they're looking at prices. They can afford this, but can't that. They can afford this much, but they can't go over, And I think when I go shopping again, I'm going to give them a nice greeting with my middle finger just to do it as we're taking something out. I like doing things like that. Anyway, I don't know if I really should. Probably not being a very good example, but they have basically they have cameras in the price tag, paper tags. They went from paper tags to digital tags. And the funny thing is, Robert Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr., our health secretary today, he warned us about this years ago, what they were going to be doing and what they were doing by then. Was it 5 years ago? I think. During the almost kind of the beginning of the criminal and treasonous administration of Biden-Harris. It seems like he's getting kind of watered down too and compromising on things. And that. So look, you look at these things, and I've shown you clips of videos before. I'm sure I'll show them again. But the stake in Bill Gates and them and Jeff Bezos and them, like Bill Gates owns approximately 270,000 acres, farm acreage. And I've shown videos of him, and I have no doubt he's tasted that nonsense. He probably has. But to eat it regularly, let's be realistic. And to listen to him talk about, and I put a clip on that in one of my live streams where he did his thing of, he was on stage talking about cows and the methane. And I've brought this example up before. I believe the earth is a little over 6,000 years old. And all of a sudden now in the last few years, we're in danger of cow farts. I don't think so. And if you go by what they try to tell you to believe, evolution, billions and billions of years ago, okay. I mean, I'm getting to be a broken record of that. Fine. For billions and billions of years, that man has been doing cattle, livestock, you name it. And now all of a sudden, and he's got some meat products too. I mentioned him in one of my videos a long time ago that I've deleted since. But anyway, they their steak and butter gal. Billionaires quietly added this to your meat and you're eating it daily. You look at that kind of nonsense and I know I wrote it down here somewhere, but I'll go ahead and read that, what I wrote word for word. Bill Gates has 270,000 farm acres. He has purchased quietly through 18 states, often through shell companies. He keeps it kind of quiet. I mean, yes, you can find it, but he doesn't just go around bragging it up either. He has also poured many, or at least tens of millions of dollars into Beyond Meat, Impossible Foods, and Memphis Meats. These are all fake. Okay, it's bug food. Look, there's certain bugs you can eat. If you're stuck out in the middle of nowhere and you don't know where you are, and you have grasshoppers and that's all you can get, by all means, eat it. That's allowed in the Bible. Locusts, grasshoppers, whatnot. But we kind of need meat. Okay. But all, basically, too, Bill Gates said all rich countries should move to 100% synthetic beef. So he's decided, it's his opinion, which he's allowed to have. If that's what he thinks, so be it. Doesn't mean I have to agree with it. You can get used to this taste difference, and the claim is they're going to make it taste even better over time. Well, yeah, when you put chemicals and some other crap in it, other poisons that you use to kill bugs to keep your yard clean. Eventually, that green premium is modest enough that you can sort of change the people or use regulation to totally shift the demand. Okay, that's where Bill Gates is crossing the line. He wants to regulate this for us. I'm not willing to be regulated, folks. Whether you do or not is up to you. But now Jeff Bezos committed $100 million to plant-based meats. Yippee-yay. And you look at the crisis of beef. Okay, we haven't had a beef crisis this badly, this severely in 75 years. Since what, 1951? And we didn't have the population back in 1951 that we have now. Let me look at it. I'll look it up for you. Come on, U.S. population in 1951. All right. Okay, 153.9 million, almost 154 million people back then. As compared to now. 342.5 million. We're talking 187 million people more about. I don't know if they're counting illegal aliens or not. I really don't. But that being said, folks, it's a lot more severe now. They're moving. They're forcing ranchers out. Ted Turner and Jeff Bezos are buying up agricultural land and basically even back in the 1990s, and I do remember a friend of mine that I trained martial arts with back then. Well, I correct that. I trained with him like 2001 to 2003. But point is, in the 1990s is when that finally textured lane beef came into play in restaurants and whatever. And he used to go through this drive-through and say, 2 bacon burgers, that'll be it. I ate one. Oh boy. Oh, that was disgusting. So what they're doing is they're getting cheap burgers, from cows and whatever that are raised on very cheap, not very nutritional feed and whatever, and that. But they have enhanced, they've learned to enhance flavor with chemicals and that. So, but basically, and two, what they're doing now, so where people can't tell the difference, whether it's in the stores or in restaurants, is they're using this thing called mechanically tenderized beef enhanced. They're cutting up the muscles and all that and putting all these chemicals in, making it really tender. Don't get me wrong, I'm tempted. I'm not going to eat that kind of nonsense. I look very closely for the stuff I have to get, but I have to have Deb really cut it up, and I have to help her sometimes because I'm missing a lot of teeth now. It's hard for me to chew. But anyway, but basically they taste good with being cut up and chemicals being put in. Now, why are they doing this? I don't know. I could theorize here. I think it's easier to deal with a bunch of soy boys than I do people who have real testosterone for men. I have to, wonder to myself about that. I think about it over the years and the way people are now, even the way I talked to men even 10, 12 years ago. And I'm talking when I was in my 40s. I'm 57 now. I mean, when I was in my middle 40s, and I'd make a joke like men do and say with a 20 to 25-year-old, and they'd almost start crying. They didn't get the joke. And just the way they were acted feminine all the way around. And they didn't mean to. They weren't that way, but they've been so pampered and eating so much soy and eating so many chemicals and probably had different things put into them now and stuff. And they're just totally changing. And it's really pathetic. I've been to stores too, and with the way this stuff is put in the food and how we have such an obesity issue in the United States. I remember that kid must have been between 8 to 10 years old. And I'll tell you what, he weighed more, I'll bet, than, me. He had to weigh more than I do. And we're not talking an 8, 10-year-old kid who has athletic ability. I mean, he was obese, slobbish, ugly looking, and it's not his fault. But I look at the way people are walking around, and they look abnormal. They look out of, their shape, their body shape is really almost like Humpty Dumpty's and stuff like that. Anyway, you have a good few muscular men and women out there, but I don't. The lack of exercise too, but I suppose when you don't feel like doing it, if you've been MK Ultra'd or whatever's going on with the person, and you're not really into that, you've been told to be the opposite. People are proud of being wussies now, and that. I mean, what are you going to do for them? I mean, I can get the word out and that, but but as Henry Kissinger once said, you control the food, you control the people. He was right. The late Henry Kissinger. And that old pork-eating Jew made it over 100 years old, I think. But, so I just thought I'd give some of that. Let me open up another. I'm going to play something by Riverside. I'll play the short version of it. This is sad. I feel bad. For this guy. I think I may have played him in another video. but this is the short. I want to do the short version of it. Let's see here. Yeah, it's when what's his name is on Joe Rogan's show, and they show it apart from this guy who says he can't eat red meat anymore. It's really sad. I feel bad for the guy. Wait a minute. Cancel. Hold on. I'll have to put it up there. Okay. Okay. Okay, now I can get it. And I'll put the link up for him for Riverside again. It's about that Lone Star tick. He's not the only one affected by this, folks. Guarantee you. But let's go ahead and play that.
In my face and my neck. I can't eat red meat anymore. I can't have any animal byproducts in anything. And it's in everything. This is alpha-gal syndrome. I love to go hiking. This is fucking crazy.
That farmers and ranchers are finding boxes of ticks on their property. Now, I don't know if that's fake. I don't know if someone's setting that up to pretend they found these boxes of ticks, but there's videos of these people finding boxes of ticks.
Now, what they'll probably say they're sterile ticks and that we're planting them out there so we can diminish the population is what they'll say. But anytime they try to mess with the balance of nature, it never goes right.
Is that what they're saying? This is
No,
where
just
you
get ready.
That's what you
you're
think?
getting it right here.
I don't believe you have a right to go to someone's property and drop off sterile ticks.
No way in hell.
It's crazy either way. But I have a good friend of mine who got bit by the Lone Star tick and has that alpha-gal problem.
Yeah, a guy came out of my house yesterday looking at putting gutters up at our house. And he said, and I said, you did what? He goes, yeah, I can't eat any meat produced by a mammal.
Yes.
I was like,
yeah. So my buddy, he had it, and my friend Evan, so he had it for a little while, and then he did a bunch of treatments and got off of it, and then started eating steak again, and fine for about a year and a half, and then it came back stronger than ever, and he just can't shake it.
He's been around that long.
So yeah, he can only eat eggs. I mean, he's basically eating eggs and vegetables. That's all he's eating. And every time he tries to deviate, he has a horrible reaction. It makes, for people that don't know, it makes your body allergic to red meat.
Right. And who has got medically made meat now?
Yeah.
Bill Gates.
I work for a private charter company in Ontario, Canada. The company handles booking and charter flights across Ontario mainly. We are paid to spread ticks by air. It happens twice a year, early spring and early fall. This year, we've been hired to do it earlier. The company receives the ticks in boxes. Each box contains millions of ticks. The aircraft used are generally single or dual prop aircraft, single pilot, and one other passenger that handles the dispersal. It pays a lot, and I mean a lot.
Now, I did a little bit of research. I think if you do get it, you're a guy right there, apparently. That's what he says. But a lot of people think that maybe you can't eat meat at all. It sounds like it's just red meat. It sounds like you can still eat eggs, you can still eat chicken, and what some buzz is all about is get rid of the cows.
In my face.
All right. There you have it with that one. I'm trying to think if I played that. I think I did on another live stream, if I'm right. But that being said, folks, yeah. Wow. Now, as far as the pet food scam, I'll show you a little bit of this, and I'll. But that's why with our actually we have 6 dogs. My wife has 3 little ESA pets, for her. But me, and I get along with them fine. I don't. I'm trying to find that area where they show the process of making this kind of nonsense. You got this is insane. Okay. This is why I went out of my way to check things out with Value Pack. And it's at a reasonable price. Okay. There's a lot of dog foods, I think, or a decent number of them that are just as good as Value Pack, but they're a lot more expensive. But hey, if you have the money and you're rolling in the dough, by all means, get, I know another good one, even though it's more expensive, was what, that Sunday food or something. I'd have to look them up. And I would strongly consider Sunday food, dog food. But Value Pack seems to be just great. And we also do that. But I'll go ahead and get ready to share this. This is appalling. This is insane. And again, I'll put the links. See, I didn't think I was going to do this. Okay, let's go ahead and play it.
I'm sitting here thinking, what are people feeding their animals really? And then I came across this.
In the world, they buy card boxes at rock bottom prices and turn them into expensive dog food. Unaware customers rush to buy it because of its tasty flavor. Every morning in shady, hidden factories, truckloads of raw materials arrive, recycled, discarded cardboard boxes. Their surfaces are yellowed, damp, moldy, sometimes mixed with plastic tape and fungus. To them, what should be trash for the landfill is a treasure for making dog food. First, the cardboard is ground into tiny pieces by roaring shredders, then dumped into a mixing pool with large amounts of water to form pulp. The smell is sour and foul, enough to make a person gag. But to make it taste like meat, workers pour in artificial flavors and colorings. Beef, chicken, milk, whatever flavor they want, they create. Once mixed, the pulp is pushed into high-temperature dryers. Moisture evaporates quickly, and the pulp is baked until it's hard and brittle, then cut into uniform small pellets. They look like premium-baked dog food, but feel like dried cardboard. In the final step, the fake dog food is packed into colorful bags with reassuring brands and ingredient lists placed in pet stores or sold online, suddenly becoming high-priced, quality dog food. You may wonder why dogs eat it so happily. That flavor is all thanks to the chemicals. But over time, the cardboard fibers can't be digested. There's no nutrition, causing constipation, digestive damage, and even slow poisoning. The worst part? Dogs can't speak. Owners don't see their pain and think their pets simply enjoy it. So don't be fooled by packaging and promises. If you truly care for your pet, read the ingredient list and check the source. Don't let your love become a lifetime of harm.
Now, just to be clear, I'm not saying that that specific video has to do with any recall whatsoever.
Okay. Let's go a little further here.
That, which is never good for any of us. Stories like this are exactly why many pet owners are starting to question what's really going into some of this processed pet food. Now, folks, what they're making in this video looks exactly like what pours out of these pet food bags, right? And with everything else that they're getting away with this day and age, all of the exposure, all the class action lawsuits, all the people getting hurt, how many of these big companies are probably getting behind this and filling their bags with something like that, which is probably coming from overseas, Asia somewhere, and probably for pennies on the dollar. I mean, these big corporations don't put profit over people, do they? Or profit over pets? Yeah, pets aren't going to be complaining. They might be keeling over 10 years earlier, but they ain't filling out any class action lawsuits. Now, I know some of you guys are going through this whole thing and be like, well, what do we do? At the end of the video, I'm going to give you a couple homemade dog food recipes that you can make at home that is probably a million times better than any of this stuff that are in these bags. So for those of you that don't even own pets, and you're just curious at what people are feeding their pets right now and all this craziness, share this out to a pet owner. They might appreciate the information because a lot of people's pets is like,
Right. You know, cows that have been treated with antibiotics or pentobarbital.
Okay, I'm just kind of trying to speed this up. You can watch the video and follow.
It's the crap.
In the factories, folks.
Food is good for them? I mean, that's ridiculous.
It's heated up to 5,000 degrees. So there's no nutritional value left. They have to add the nutrients back in. But remember, they put pretty pictures on the bags. It's not good cuts of meat that are in there. It's the crap at the slaughterhouse that we can't eat. So this is, cows that have been treated with antibiotics or pentobarbital's in their food because they've been euthanized, or it's claws, udders, whatever. Yeah. And glyphosate.
I got all kinds of threads why your dogs aren't living long anymore, and you're They're getting ailments after ailments, veterinarian bills after veterinarian bills. They're saying vaxes are filled with poisons, and this is why they're eating glue, plastic, paint, dye, cardboard, and dog food's turning vegetarian. Not sure that was the way it was intended. You guys are inundated at stores with everything that you feel like you need to see to believe it, right? It's all marketing, guys. You see probiotic, smart food, 100% balanced, happy animals, total nutrition, irresistible taste, trusted since 1908, clean teeth, fresh breath, happy dogs and happy cats, real chicken, simple natural ingredients, no soy, 100% complete balance. Like, you guys see everything that you feel like you need to see printed on a bag.
Okay, I'm going to speed this up a little bit again.
Bringing up a lot of concern with consumers about the transparency and validity of the pet food industry. I mean, when we see these viral videos, right, allegedly shown overseas factories, but that's where we get everything from, right? Everything we make that's like high quality, we ship it out to some other country. And then we get the cheap stuff from a lot of times China, but they're possibly making this pet food look exactly like the stuff that's supposed to be in the bags, with meat flavoring, chemical additives, artificial scents, textures, and enhancers. And there's no evidence that I can find that we would know any different. So another thing to add, the FDA is now warning the contaminated dog food may not only affect pets, but could potentially spread bacteria through your kitchen and home. And this is a major recall. And as the major recall expands, viral videos from overseas, once again, raising serious questions about what they are actually possibly doing in some of this pet food. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I mean, seriously, how easy would it be for them to just put whatever they want in these dog food bags? Like all these big, huge brands that you're familiar with, if they could get it for fractions of pennies on the dollar, and it looks the same, it smells the same, the dogs still eat it, the cats still eat it, be an easy way to make a lot. We're seeing it everywhere. Now what I'm going to do is show you guys full screen.
Okay, I've shown enough of that. Again, I'll get the link for the video. All right. Shouldn't be a problem. And I need to do some stuff on human, the stuff that we eat. I'll let you in on this. And I had some stew earlier today and bread that was made by a lady herself. She uses a lot of our eggs from our own chickens. And we have some pretty authentic butter when it comes down to it. Compared, I'd like to start have Deb later down the road, hopefully very soon. We start making our own butter too. But yesterday we had some of that chicken stew with some other things in there. And we had a salad. We used blue cheese, dressing, stuff that we ordered that's better than the store. Now, when I say that, we ordered, where is it? Oh, here it is. We ordered a gallon of this. That being said, here it is. And it's better than the store stuff. I can even taste the difference. And looking on the ingredients here. Okay. Now, when I look on there, because of my cataracts and that, even though I'm a critical reader, I do have to use a magnifying glass. I have one, obviously. But my point to you is, where we got our salad from? We didn't get it from any store. We got it from right off our property. Deborah Hebrew Faith and I yesterday went out with a bowl and we picked up broad plantains, narrow plantains, curly plantains, dandelion leaves, stems, and stuff, and some other flowers that are edible. And we both had a large salad each. I don't put any pesticides. We don't put any pesticides or any kind of crap like that on our property. We are going to get some natural protectant because of the Lone Star ticks and God knows whatever else, to help protect our property, with our dogs. We're, a lot of times picking ticks off of them. So Deb wants me to show this. There we go. And Deb cleans it too. I mean, she rinses it off and stuff. Here we go. Do it with blue cheese or whatever, ranch, Thousand Island, whatever you prefer, folks. Now, I know there's a big debate on carnivore diet, and I'm all for it, by the way. I've listened to Joe Rogan talk about it. Stephen C. Smith from Integrated Preparedness defend it. Little House Off Grid with Robert, and now Patera, Appalachia's Homestead with Patera. Her hubby James is lost over 100 pounds altogether. He's doing really well, and they're taking Krav Maga again. They're lifting weights at a fitness gym, and I'm all for it. Don't get me wrong. I still have a place. I still have a place for good vegetables and fruits. I mean, eat all the fruits you want of any tree except for the fruit of the tree of fruit, the tree of good, the tree of knowledge of good and evil, right? Yeah. So, and frankly, Deb and I can't afford yet, if ever, I don't know, but to go carnivore 100%. Now, we do another meat product is eggs. We eat plenty of those. I still have chickens that are, we have hens that are laying. But I'll tell you what, if for some odd reason they were to all molt at once, we just won't eat eggs. Why? Until they start laying again, or if I find another homesteader that I can trust him or her to buy a couple dozen from, maybe, while my hens are busy recovering until they're ready to start laying again. We don't have to worry about that too much. We give a dozen every so often to another woman, and she makes bread and whatever. We have our own eggs. I'm probably going to have some tonight, to be honest. Late night, midnight snack. Probably with some blue cheese and salad dressing. Pick it right off, like I said, right off the ground. Cooked plantains. Yeah, red clovers, white clovers, dandelion, and chicory. Yeah, Deborah Heber Faith just put that in there. I will say this, it's different. That tastes different too. And because I lack teeth, it takes me more to chew it. But I do it. It's worth it to me. So when we do this, we're trying to go as natural as you can. We're starting to learn the land here with this homestead. We've had to approach things differently than what we did in Florida. It's a different environment here, and that's okay. It's a learning process. But anyway, and I'm getting to the point, when we go to, say, like a Save-A-Lot store, I do my best to talk to the butcher and see what they're doing and the boxes they get in of chicken and whatever, and that. And when we get stuff like that or some red meat, there are still some genuine people out there. You just have to really look for them. But we want enough chickens to where we did, even though we have enough now. There was an earlier time at this very homestead, we couldn't keep up. We had so many eggs, I was selling them. And then when I couldn't, I would try to give them away. It's filling the fridge, and I want it there again. Now we have a bunch of biddies that are strong enough where I have them in my large coop. They can hack the little bit of cool weather at night. And that, and of course, I put the tarps up during the day so they get sunlight in there and get their vitamin D. But probably anywhere from November to January, we'll be doing a bunch of butchering and have our own chicken. When we've done that before, it wasn't that long ago. I butchered a rooster, and Deb and I did together, I should say, and we ate it that night. Some of it. We didn't eat the whole thing. It took a couple days. It was a good, healthy, big rooster. So anyway, but these people are wanting to regulate what we eat. And depending on what part of the country you're in, they're some places are pushing it harder to make gardening illegal, to have your own fowl, and that. I'd like to get and lay, or not lay, but incubate a bunch of, if I can get them from somebody, incubate a dozen or so guineas, because they're excellent for tick eating. What you do is you get the guineas and have them grow up and be big enough, and you just throw them. They're incredibly stupid. So my main goal would be just to put them on the property, and they can walk around and eat things like ticks and whatever else. And but we that being said, we also we had a couple guineas running around here last year, and I found one morning gone. It died. It got stuck in between some of my fencing or something. And then the other one was by herself, doing that horn sound, because she didn't know what happened to her friend. And she was probably with us for about a month. And then she was gone. So, and that happens. That's what they're there for. But two weren't really, we had more than that in the beginning. We actually butchered a couple too and ate them. But I'd like to have a bunch of them out here and do that on our property. So there's ways to deal with this. And if I get that many guineas, if we can have at least a dozen running around out there, maybe we can have another couple that we can butcher and eat. But that being said, folks, they're really trying to control us, and they're coming up with these things, and that thing on your arm or on your palm of your hand or in your forehead, and
Quantum dot is what it's called.
Yeah, a one and what?
Quantum dot.
Oh, a quantum dot. Yeah, that's right.
Done by Bill Gates. It's a little sticky tab that goes from your wrist down to your forearm area.
Yeah, that's Bill
and
Gates.
it has this illuminating stuff in it.
What are you gonna do, Billy?
Millions of microscopic hair like needles.
Yeah,
and it
Billy.
injects it through the 7 layers of your
Leave
skin.
Leave it to Sir William. And Trump lets him come in the White House and have private talks, and they have dinner.
Elon Musk, brain
And they have dinner together, and it's really, really sucky. It's too bad Trump is getting that way now. I don't know what's going on with him. I'm getting to like him less and less. That's why I have no problem saying that he's a part of 1 John chapter 2, verse 18. He really does qualify. Now, the reason why, though, I don't want to say that Gates is that Donald Trump is not the Antichrist, and I'll quick look it up. And I need to put this across because I hear people about the women thing. Daniel, yeah, I knew it was there. Okay, Daniel 11:37. I'll read a couple different versions. I'll go King James and New American Standard Bible here on Bible Hub. Daniel chapter 11, verse 37. Neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor the desire of women, nor regard any God. He shall magnify himself above all. What is the New American Standard 1977 reads? And he will show no regard for the gods of his fathers or for the desire of women, nor will he show regard for any other God, for he will magnify himself above them all. Now, which is more accurate, I'm not for sure. But either way, he has no regard for women. Think about it. Trump is on his 3rd marriage, folks. He's had children by all of them. Maybe it was only his youngest, Barron, that he had with Melania. In fact, he had an affair, cheated on you people who are into monogamy hardcore, just one wife. Was it a second wife he cheated on? And yeah. And he used to judge beauty queens, be a judge in beauty queen contests for Pete's sake. The man is interested in women. Okay. Sorry, but that's the way it is. Maybe there's some hope for him. Maybe he'll get the right message from Paula White and accept Yeshua. Okay, bad joke. But either way, he's not the first beast, nor is he the second beast that indicates that in Revelation chapter 13. It just doesn't make any sense. Plus, too, I look at the area of the world he's in. I suppose you could say with technology is possible. You know, you can rule the world from America, but I don't see that being very realistic either. I don't know when we're going to go down. I do believe we will. I think it's inevitable. Because when you look at Daniel chapter 7, verse 4, and the eagles is our symbol for the nation, folks. Daniel chapter 7, verse 4, the first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings whereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. Okay, the eagle's wings were plucked. New American Standard Bible, 1977. The first was like a lion and had the wings of an eagle. I kept looking until its wings were plucked, and it was lifted up from the ground and made to stand on 2 feet like a man. A human mind also was given to it. I tend to think we're the eagle's wings. Now, I mean, Trump right now, you know, of course, when they got Maduro and all that, captured him, you know, he's running around like an arrogant, like pretty arrogantly. And we're so powerful. We're so powerful. And we are. We're still the most powerful nation in the world, despite what the Biden-Harris treasonous administration did. I just don't think that's going to remain, though. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we're not the. I hope we're not the eagle that has its wings clipped or plucked or whatever in the future. But I don't know about that. I just have this odd feeling, folks. I'm just saying. So that being said, I don't. I've gone over a lot of subjects, and I want to continue this. I've got, things are moving fast with 3 exclamation marks, and that's fine. I should probably keep doing that. Things are moving fast, part 2, then maybe next time, and I'll get a little more into the scriptures. I wanted to explain because I was on a panel earlier today on somebody's StreamYard, and I'm not going to point him out. I'm not actually the channel owner. Really, he's more liberal with grace than I am, but he's not. There was another guy up there with me who's really hyper grace. And anyway, people don't understand chapter 2 of Colossians, and I'm more than happy to give the Hebraic perspective. And I might do that, or I'm probably going to do that too. I don't want to do it now. It's after almost 12:40 in the morning. And I know people want to get to bed. Some of you probably have already. So that being said, I probably should explain that, and that'd be a separate subject. But there's a lot of subjects I want to go over, and my wife has a desire to. We want to warn people of what's going on, what's coming fast. People think it won't happen in their lifetime. I've listened to more than one person tell me that. Well, again, I hope they're right. I really do. But, things are blatantly in front of our faces. And if you know the scriptures and you study like you're supposed to and let the Spirit, the Ruach, guide you, I don't see how it seems to be coming at us like a mad truck. Okay. So read your Bibles, ladies and gentlemen. Do your own research. Do what God allows you to do. Ask him what he wants you to do as an individual and with your situation, with the people that surround, that you're with, and ask him to guide you. I don't have the answers for that. For those of you who, all I have is my own situation with Deb and our farm fowl and our dogs, and that's about it. And, we take it day by day. And we had a good day today, too, or yesterday now, technically. I dug a big hole and planted 2 new cherry trees. We put them together, right beside one another, and they'll hopefully by next year start growing cherries. And So we've got that one set of trees from Florida that we had that's making a good recovery, even though a dog that's not here any longer was chewing on it over a year ago. We have, Dad, what kind of trees do we have? We have 2 apple trees, a black and a green apple that we have a set right beside each other. We have, or whatever it is. And Dad likes to holler things out. Maybe she's not hearing me now. I don't know. But we
got a black apple and green apple.
Yeah, black and green apple. And what else do we have? The 2 cherry trees I did now technically yesterday. What's that other one?
Black apple and green apple.
I heard you. What's the other one? Oh boy.
Sour plum.
Oh, the sour
Hard
plum.
and sweet plum.
Yeah, we have a sour plum tree and a sweet plum tree together, or beside each other. That was actually the first ones I planted over a couple of months ago. I didn't have to water anything today. When you first plant, like when I first planted those cherry trees, what normally would happen is I'd water it down. I did actually put some water on it because of the
Black cherry and red cherry.
I put the water on it because of the used coffee grounds. I wanted to kind of soak them in, but I really didn't water per se. The reason why, it's been a few days since it rained, but it rained so much for over 2 weeks that the ground, when I was digging a hole, I was going into a mud puddle practically, and so I didn't really need to do that. So things are coming along here, and they're going according to God's schedule, and I'm okay with that. And hopefully by next year we'll have fruit trees growing. We'll have fruits on the trees. That'll be growing enough and edible, and our gardens are doing great, and that, and some of them we could probably start eating from. I know the onions we could, but we're not ready to pick them yet. We're going to leave that. And when we pick them, we're going to be doing the wheat from the tares as the scriptures read, Anyway, I don't really have a lot more to say. I will do a part 2, and I'll get more into the scriptures. I think I might do a separate video tomorrow or tonight on Colossians 2, and that'll be a totally separate subject. I do want to deal with that. And not only the Sabbath. That as well in verse 16, but practically the whole thing. And there was a way that Paul was, the point he got across to his letter and the history of when the letter was written and that. And what a lot of Christians sadly don't understand. Anyway, as you can see, my wife is typing in more information about what we're doing, what we will be doing. And that. But folks, look, I've been here long enough. You've been here long enough. I hope you thumb it up. I hope you share this video. We're just trying to help. And I'm going to get more into the human food. Okay. I did quite a bit on the dog, about the dog foods. I showed off my dogs here tonight and that, and life it's rough. Don't get me wrong. It's tough here, but it's worth it. And I do like being here. I like our life out here. Especially with the crap that's going on in major cities. I'm getting too old for that stuff. All right, folks. Peace. Shalom. The Levite man is out of here, and you all stay safe.